All right, welcome to Novak News Monday night with myself, Bidan, and Harry.
Yep.
Today we're going to talk about why some properties sell or lease in 1 week and some take way too long.
Day.
Uh,
Yep.
One day,
One day.
some take way too long. Stay tuned. All right, how are you doing, Harry?
Good. Interesting topic today,
Yeah,
Dan.
very nice.
I think this is going to be one that a lot of landlords and a lot of vendors are going to want to hear. So
Very much.
a lot of different points to touch base with today. So let's start with the sales side of things.
For
Bids.
sure.
So what are some of the major factors that will help dictate as to how quick your property will get sold?
Definitely. Everyone wants to sell the property quick and for the most price possible.
Yep.
Because the longer it stays, the more buyers will ask what's wrong with the property. But since day one, there's lots of things that you can do to a property just to make it present well. So we have a very simple formula called a living mode versus selling mode. So in living mode, what you do, you decorate for your own needs. You might have multiple photos of your families, multiple decorating stuff. But in terms of selling, you want it as decluttered and as empty as possible. Because what you're trying to do is you are inviting people to your home and giving them the perspective, okay, they could potentially live here.
Yeah.
So presentation is all. So real estate and selling, it's more of a marketing gig rather than a selling bit. Because if you market it well, it's better photos, better floor plan, talk to them well, speak through the ads. That's where it actually matters.
Yeah. In rentals, very similar. I also think that like even during your open inspections as the leasing or the sales agent, I think it applies for both parties here. Just the presentation for the open inspections, turning on the lights, making sure all the brochures, your business cards, those little cute little I love DY magnets that we love to put on. Everyone loves that, and I think that I think it just brings a really good positive overall energy for all prospective tenants, prospective buyers that
Very
come
much.
through. And people don't actually notice this, but it really does play a very big impact on whether or not someone wants to go ahead with you as the agent to lease that. And
Very true.
especially since we're talking about speed, that's I think it's one of the most critical things in my books.
Yeah.
In my experiences, just having a very good presentation, being early to your open inspections.
Yes.
I've said this before in another social media, and Lisa Novak, if you're watching this, you've said it in your podcast.
Yeah.
No one likes a flustered host, quote unquote, Lisa. So being early, having your presentation ready for your open inspection is probably, in my books, one of the most critical things.
Definitely, that's very true. With us real estate agents, for a Saturday is our busiest day, and we have everything on time. We have 4 or 5 open homes all lined up.
Yep.
And sometimes things do take time. Like people kind of turn up late and say, "Oh, just a few minutes," and we don't want to be rude. You made it there. We want you to have a look, but it kind of takes time of our different open home. And imagine you turning up to open a property. You have to put signs, brochures, do lights and doors, which you normally have to do. And there's 10 people waiting for you. It just doesn't look good. So as easy as you make it for the buyers or renters, the better it is.
That's it.
So what we want to do is put lots of signs out. If it's in a complex that's deep
Signs,
inside,
directionals.
signs everywhere. Because if they have to look around and call, hey, where is it? We can't find it. Then that's a bit of a bit uncomfortable situation.
And it's non-negotiable.
Exactly.
Like you've got to do it. If speed and efficiency is something that you're prioritizing for your client. And look, people don't, landlords and vendors, they don't really have control over this, but another thing that dictates how quickly we can sell or lease your property is location of the property.
Very much.
If it's closer to amenities, public transport, restaurants, cafes, close to the beach even, if it's north facing, a lot of the positioning and the location of the property also plays a vital impact on how quickly. Like, for example, I did an open inspection for a property on Queenscliff Road, and Queenscliff Road is a very, very good
Yeah.
street. It was a 2-bedroom unit. It wasn't the newest. It was actually quite somewhat run down. But you open up the balcony glass door, and you're literally a hop, skip, and a jump to the beach. Literally, quite literally. You can literally just see the beach, Manly Beach. So, like things like that. And I had 11 groups, and we've already leased it within, I think, a couple of days. Or I think we're on the verge to leasing it. But it's sometimes you can't really control the market. You just coincidentally just got to have the right property, and you've got to be, at the right time, essentially.
But yeah, those things, as you mentioned, there are a few things that you can't control, like location.
Yeah.
Like, if it's not in the right location, it's not, right? You can't just move your house or a unit. But that's where your agent comes in picture.
Yeah.
Like, they will help you market it well. It might not be close to amenities, but there might be people that want to be away from the amenities because it's a quieter street.
Yeah.
Or, those things, right? They want to be close to family. So you have to market it well with the ad. You need to have an agency that has a big database of people that are constantly looking, right? Who does something in the community. So even when we're renting or selling, if an agency has a bigger market share, that's where you get your best value, because something like location and aspect, you can't quite change.
Yeah.
Right. And selecting an agent, that's when your real trick is, because they will be representing your property day in, day out. They will be the one talking to everyone walking through that door. And it's the first 5 seconds. That's all it takes.
That's it.
The first 5 seconds with the property and the agent, everything goes in that. How you talk with them, are you smiling and talking, or is it saying, yes, come on, what's your number, what's your thing?
Yep. And I think one of the last points is the time of the year. So I think seasonal changes also dictate how quickly your property will be leased or sold. So I'd like to consider the Northern Beaches as more of a regional area to live. Everyone loves to live here in the summer, close to the beach, close to the surf. But we don't see too much stock move in the winter. I've had a couple properties that have been sitting on the market just for quite some time now. But that's mainly due, I'd like to think it's mainly due to the seasonal changes. Because I think I had a Meriton, a beautiful 2-bedroom unit in the Meriton, which took a little bit longer than I expected to lease that. But I know for a fact that if that was in summer, it would be a completely different story. I think I'd have that leased within the day or two.
It's a very interesting point.
Yeah.
Because I think the summer comes in, you want to be close to the beach, you want to go surf pretty much every day if possible. And I think you would want to make that, it'll make that click to, okay, let's move to Northern Beaches.
That's it.
And what we've noticed is in the media and when people talk, they always talk of whole of Sydney. And Northern Beaches, we live here, but it's a very different pocket.
It is.
Like, it performs totally differently than what even Upper North is doing or what CBD or even the East is doing.
Yeah.
So you have to be very careful with those things as well. And if you get local agents, they'll market it well. They will give you right advice how to get that leased as soon as possible for the best price. Because sometimes quick is not always best.
Yeah.
Right. And we're always there to give you advice and saying, okay, maybe let's do it for 1 more week, or let's see what these guys will have to say, and give you real feedback rather than telling you what you want to hear.
Yeah.
I think, those things kind of
I think that's a wrap. Those are the main points, really. I mean, we can waffle on for another 20 minutes.
There's lots of things,
There is lots of things. We've only got about 10 minutes to do these talks. So, I think that's a wrap, Bid.
All right, perfect. Cool. Thank you. And we'll see you guys next week.
Thank you. See you later.